Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's shaping up to be another hot and humid day all across the Metro Detroit area. Meteorologist Brandon Rue is also tracking the chances for a little rain in today's forecast. Livingston County, an elementary school there, issues an emergency mask mandate after several confirmed cases of COVID-19 and quarantines. But we begin with breaking news out of Afghanistan. The Pentagon says that there has been an explosion outside of that airport in Kabul. Taliban sources are telling NBC News a suicide attack killed 13 people, including children. They say 60 others were also hurt. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby tweeted the explosion at Abbey Gate was the result of a complex attack that resulted in a number of U.S. and civilian casualties. There are reports of a second blast in the area as well. White House officials are telling NBC News that President Biden was briefed on the explosions. The U.S. and other Western nations warned of a possible attack at Kabul's airport in the final days of this massive evacuation effort. Meanwhile, refugees from Afghanistan that have been evacuated now face the daunting process of verification and approval to enter into the United States while they wait at processing centers. Matt Breidlett reports near Ramstein Air Base in Germany.
Yeah, I'm not far from Ramstein Air Base. It's one of the largest U.S. air bases in the world, and it's one of the main waypoints for Afghan evacuees who are fleeing from Kabul airport, which is now very much under siege. And it's also one of the main bottlenecks, and we've been hearing from U.S. authorities here as of this morning that there have been 14,500 Afghans who have moved through Ramstein Air Base. So far, only 3,500 have actually departed. So it's a big bottleneck. The main restrictions, the main constraints aren't security, they aren't logistics. The people that I spoke with said that their needs are mostly met. It's bureaucracy. And we're talking about a lot of people here who showed me their U.S. passports. They are or U.S. green card holders. They are entitled to passage to the U.S., but they still need to be processed, and that is taking a really long time. There's a huge tent city that was built in very little time. More than 300 tents. People are housed in those tents and also in these massive hangars that are normally meant for aircraft. And so the conditions are okay, but what they're lacking is information. Now, a lot of the Afghans that I've spoken to said they have no sense of when they're going to be leaving or where they're going to be going to. And that's a real problem, a cause of a lot of anxiety for people who have already run the horrific gauntlet through Taliban territory, out of Kabul, trying to make their way to the States. And as we're seeing as the evacuation process in Kabul at that airport is wrapping up, waypoints like this one are going to become more critical and more crowded. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Landstuhl, Germany.
Let's feel for everyone trying to flee from that country and what happens next. Our other top story is the coronavirus. The superintendent of Heartland Consolidated Schools, this is in Livingston County, issuing an emergency mask mandate. The reason? Well, it's going to impact all students and staff at Round Elementary School because of a COVID outbreak. Grant Herms joins us with more on the decision behind making that mask mandate.
Heartland schools have only been back in session for just over a week, and their COVID cases have spiked. More than 24, with hundreds of kids now in quarantine here at Round Elementary, where that mask mandate is now in effect. About a third of the entire student population now in quarantine. Heartland Consolidated Schools changing course on masking. In a letter to parents, Superintendent Chuck Hughes writing, "Due to the number of quarantined teachers and students, I have mandated all students and staff wear a cloth mask over their nose and mouth while indoors at Round Elementary." According to the superintendent, Round Elementary has had 6 cases since the start of the school year on August 18th, but has 122 students quarantined. Overall, cases in the district aren't looking good either, with 25 cases and 340 students quarantined in the last 9 days, making up roughly 10% of all cases in Livingston County in the past week. Just before the start of the school year, Hughes sent out another letter explaining masks were still optional, calling them still a family choice, but adding if cases take a turn for the worse, the district will not hesitate to change direction. In his most recent letter, Hughes making his stance clear, writing, "In all transparency, I will make the decision to try a mandatory mask policy before making the decision to close a building. I'm watching the case patterns closely and will make decisions as necessary." Students in quarantine will still have to do their work, either a take-home packet or in online classes, which could be tricky in Livingston County, where just 6 out of 10 households have access to broadband internet. They think that the COVID cases are coming from outside exposure, much like what we saw last year in schools. Hughes says that they'll reevaluate that mask mandate after the Labor Day weekend. In Livingston County, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Grant, thank you. And we certainly hope that everyone that may have contracted COVID there is going to be safe and okay and healthy. Turning now to some other coronavirus headlines. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan is going to provide an update this afternoon on the expansion of the availability of those third doses of the Moderna and Pfizer coronavirus vaccines for City of Detroit residents. Yesterday, the state reported a 2-day total of new case numbers, 4,300 new cases reported and 38 deaths. The case total averages out to about 2,100 cases per day, and the death toll includes 10 identified during a vital records review. Meanwhile, Pfizer is expecting FDA approval for its booster dose by the end of the week. And the Wall Street Journal reports federal regulators are likely to approve a booster dose for adults starting 6 months after their previous dose, rather than the 8 months that was originally recommended. Let's turn our attention to Brandon, because it's been one hot, steamy week. Actually, the weekend started it all, and it hasn't changed since.
And wait until you see what we have for you this weekend. Man, we are warming up in spite of filtered sunshine. We still have clouds around Pontiac, Metro airports, some areas getting a little more sunshine, and here we are at 86 degrees, 84 Pontiac, 88 at City Airport, and low middle 80s just about everywhere. You add that humidity, which just for some reason today feels cranked up, and it will continue this way. We're looking at 95 for a feels like temp right now in Mount Clemens. We have highs near 90, feeling 93 to 97, and we'll get into a little more sunshine, but also a couple of afternoon showers. You notice the clouds here, and they're sort of riding right along a stationary front in the area, and with the heating of the afternoon, some showers certainly possible. So your local forecasters app, a great weapon and tool. We've got some high school football games today, and whatever you have outdoors, make sure you check the local forecasters app. It's got great interactive radar. You can find out in an instant. It's free. Download it in your app store. Just search WDIV.
All right, Brandon, thank you. We are working to learn more on that FBI raid that took place yesterday on the offices and homes of 2 Detroit City Council members and their staff. It is the latest move in a multi-year public corruption investigation being done by federal agents. A spokesperson for the FBI says agents were executing search warrants at several residences, but with a focus on council members Janae Ayers and Scott Benson. This comes as Detroit Councilman Andre Spivey faces charges of conspiracy to commit bribery. The FBI says agents were only collecting evidence and that no charges have been made. A man turns himself in to police after a deadly hit and run that took the life of a 4-year-old boy. It happened last night at a gas station near 7 Mile and Hoover on Detroit's east side. The driver reportedly went into the gas station after the accident, but then left. Police say a few hours later, the driver turned himself in. At this point, it's unclear who was with that 4-year-old child at the time. Police are reviewing the security video at that gas station. As we look ahead to the weekend, there is newly announced closures along I-75 in Oakland County that you need to know about if this is going to be part of your route. So the northbound side of I-75 is going to be closing on Friday from 14 Mile to Big Beaver. The southbound side will close from Big Beaver to Rochester Road. Crews are going to be applying a surface treatment to sections of that freeway that needed to be repaired after the July 12th tanker fire. So the closures will start tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. and are expected to end at 9 p.m. on Sunday. So to come, tracking your stress level just got a bit easier. We're going to show you the device that will tell you when you need to relax. And a new wildfire sparks up in California, destroying homes and rushing thousands to safe ground. We also continue to follow our breaking news this noon out of Kabul, Afghanistan, where the Pentagon says 2 explosions have happened at the airport. That's where thousands have gathered to be evacuated from the country. U.S. officials say that the attack is definitely believed to have been carried out by the Islamic State group. NBC News is also reporting at least 13 people died in this explosion. 16 others have been injured, and some are U.S. personnel. The exact number has not yet been released, but we have just learned at least 3 Marines were hurt. The White House says that President Biden has been briefed and is monitoring the situation. So we will hope to hear more later, but we'll be right back with more Local 4 News at noon after the break.